Hey guys, Mike here. So what do you do when everything in your business sucks and you're not motivated at all to continue working? To me, this is one of the hardest things that we have to deal with on a daily basis, particularly if we're a very small or micro business or even a single person entrepreneur. The ability to keep going even though you know everything is stacked against you and the odds are frankly not in your favor. How do you keep going, especially when everything seems to be going wrong? So at some point, you would have thought about not starting a business because you thought, well, what if things go wrong? And there might be a time when a lot of these fears come to fruition. Here's the thing I want you to quickly do. When everything seems to be going wrong within your business, you have to stay motivated. Now, sometimes it's not even a case of things going wrong. It's just you really aren't feeling it anymore. And you think to yourself, do you know what? I just don't know if I want to keep going with this. I don't know if I want to keep being alone all the time. I don't know if I want to keep dealing with bills all the time. I don't know if I want to keep dealing with all these new tools and information and all these hacks, and I keep being told I have to keep doing more and more and more, and everything piles up and the pressure keeps weighing down on you. There is actually a way out of this. There is absolutely a way out of this, and it's very, very simple. It's doubling down on the audience that you serve. So what does that mean exactly? Doubling down on who you serve. Here's the thinking. When things become very, very difficult, it's easy for us to give up on ourselves. For example, when the tax man is insistent that you owe them a bunch of money and you've got absolutely nothing in the bank. When a customer calls you up and says, this isn't working, but you physically don't have the time to fix it. You know there's processes and systems within your business that you could improve, and frankly, your to-do list has only got 2 things scratched off, and they're only scratched off because you wrote them on there because you'd already done them to give yourself kind of like a bit of a bump of saying that I've already completed something on my to-do list. I believe that motivation is bullshit. I don't believe that motivation exists. I think that motivation is doing something when you want to do it. People are motivated to run away from a lion. You don't have to be disciplined to run away from a lion. The reason why motivation doesn't work is because the very reason that motivation exists is purely internal. It's singular purpose, and it's usually dedicated to the person who is motivated. People tend not to be motivated to do things for other people, and this is where this concept comes in of doubling down on your audience. By doubling down on the particular audience or the group of people that you want to serve or dedicate yourself to, it becomes almost impossible to give up and become unmotivated because you're going to be letting down other people. So this might sound incredibly counterintuitive, but in order to deal with all the pressures from the external desires that everyone else has on you, such as your mortgage company, the gas and electric bill company, your phone company, your hosting companies, your bills, all of the other outgoings and invoices you've got, all of the other overheads, so all those external pressures from people who want things from you, the easiest way to actually get out of all of that is to dedicate yourself to another audience and put pressure on yourself to serve them. Here's why. When we dedicate ourselves to serving a particular niche, in this case, or a market or an audience, we're saying to the world, I believe I have something incredibly important to offer and I want to do everything I can to help that audience. You could even say that you have a moral obligation to help that particular audience. The difference comes because when you are internally motivated to, for example, earn more money or live in a better house, those internal motivations are really easy to give up on yourself. People who are extremely disciplined and have to spend a lot of time by themselves, either doing something or training by themselves. For example, me, I have to shoot a lot of videos by myself. I have to work in my office a lot by myself. I'm internally motivated by 2 or 3 things like earn more money, make sure my family are safe, be everything I can be, all that kind of shit. But the true reason that I'm willing to dedicate myself to doing this over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And if you look at anyone who has got any kind of fanaticism about something, that is what will ultimately drive them past the point where everyone else is willing to give up. Motivation is something very, very fickle, and often people kind of run out of energy and steam at some point. That's because everyone experiences this trough of despair. I'll go over that in the whiteboard in a minute. But your job is to find motivation external to yourself, and by serving an audience, it becomes almost impossible to let other people down. So therefore, it becomes almost impossible to not do your goals. If your goals are based around helping other people and making sure that another audience is served, That's what's going to push you past that kind of initial period of being unmotivated. The reality is there's never going to be a period in your business where you're going to think, this is, I'm never going to be unmotivated again. You're always going to go through peaks and troughs of a lack of motivation or very difficult circumstances. So let me explain the trough of motivation on the trough of despair on the background behind me. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. This is time along the bottom. Now this could be days, or this could be weeks, or it could be months. This here is our level of motivation. It's basically our desire to do something. Now, I'm going to take two very different examples. One is going to be the gym, and joining the gym. Another is going to be running a business. Now, again, the length of time, and this is your funnel business, right? This is about running your funnel business. Might help if I plug the microphone in. I apologise for the shit sound quality. Running a business. Now, obviously, this is your funnel business, right? Now, the length of time, this could be over a period of days or a period of weeks. Running a business is probably going to be over a period of weeks. Joining the gym is going to be over a period of days. If you join the gym, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find it very, very difficult, but your level of wanting to do it, your desire to do it is going to be sky high. It's going to be tough, it's going to suck, it's going to be hard work, it's going to be uncomfortable, you're going to be learning new things, you're going to have to change your diet, and you think, no, I'm going to go 3 times a week, I'm going to go 5 times a week, I'm going to go twice a day. But at some point, it's going to start to wane. Your desire or motivation is going to start to wane. And it's going to continue to go down and down and down and down and down. This here, this kind of drop is they sometimes call it the valley of disillusionment or the trough of despair. Over time, your desire is eventually going to match the level of before you were doing it. You begin to justify to yourself internally, was I really that out of shape? Do I really need to keep doing this? Maybe I can just go once a week. Maybe there's a few things that I could just do differently. Maybe I should change my diet. Maybe I'll do a different class instead. No matter what, when you join the gym, you're going to go through this trough of despair. And then at some point, it's going to plateau. And that is your lowest point. That's what some people call rock bottom, right? Because they've got absolutely no motivation to do it. And that's when people quit. This is the point here when most people think, I don't want to do this anymore. The amount of energy I'm putting in and the effort I'm putting in and the motivation I'm putting in is not equaling any results. The truth is that it's actually as difficult as it ever was. The difficulty stays pretty much exactly the same. The actual level of difficulty stays pretty much the same. It's just when you first start, you think, oh yeah, I like this. I like that it hurts. I like that it sucks. This is hard work. This is what our country was built on. And every country says that, so it doesn't matter where you are. But at some point, you're going to start justifying to yourself, you need to do that. This part here is what we call enlightenment. Now, enlightenment is where you realize that actually it's not about making it easier. It's not about making it less hard. It's that you get better. And the way that you begin to come out of that, back up past that difficulty point where it then plateaus and you stick with it, this path of enlightenment, this has got nothing to do with motivation. This here is discipline. And discipline is a very easy and difficult, I guess, mindset to have. The easiest way, in my opinion, to build discipline is to double down and dedicate yourself on an audience, on serving. If you decide at this point, now this point here, when things start going down, this is when bills start piling up. This is when it hurts to get up in the morning. This is when you're tired. This is when things don't seem to be working out. It seems to be an inverse proportionality to the amount of effort you're putting in and the results you're getting out. You've written your 5th blog post, you still haven't got any traffic. You've done your 20th video, you still don't have any subscribers. You've written your 50th tweet, you still don't have any followers. You've been to the gym for 5 weeks and you still haven't lost a pound. all of these stack up. But the reality is you're only going to start getting results like this. They gradually build up. And the point where you actually start getting results, so there's like, we call it an inflection point, which is essentially where, we're getting kind of a bit mathematical here, it exponentially begins to get you results faster than anything you were putting in. For example, here, if you put in loads of effort, you don't get anything. Loads of effort, you don't get anything. Loads of effort, you maybe get 1. Loads of effort, you get maybe 2. Loads of effort, you maybe get 3. But around here, the amount of effort that you put in, if you continue, and I've shown this with like traffic and stuff, I now get more traffic from one blog post here than I got through all of this. And in my second post, I'll get more traffic here than I got through all of the previous ones. There's a concept called your last month will always be your best month. But it takes so long to get there to start seeing results that most people quit before they start to really see those results. And this is what's so dangerous. To double down on serving a particular market when you decide to serve other people and put yourself to the dedication and to help other people and to truly help other people, it's much easier to push up this point of enlightenment because you're disciplined to work for other people and do it for other people. I'm always fascinated by the concept of motivation because let's take it's been recent floods in Asia, as there often are, unfortunately, and you have mothers giving birth in trees where there is literally raging torrents of muddy water filled with rocks and debris and cars and bodies, and they give birth up a tree. It wasn't motivation that kept that woman up there and to look after her baby. She wasn't like, yeah, I reckon I can really do this. I'm motivated to do this. She didn't have a choice. She physically didn't have a choice to give up. She had to. She had to be disciplined for the sake of her child. And you see this a lot where guys will talk about who have done well. They'll talk about motivation, but actually what they're really talking about is discipline. It's getting up past this point here. Your business, you will stay motivated if you double down on serving a particular market. Yes, that means you know to know who your audience is. But if you're really struggling with your business and you think, this isn't fucking worth it anymore, there's so many bills, I've got so many envelopes, I owe so much money, I've got debt piling up, I've got credit cards piling up, my creditors are calling, I've got pennies in my pocket, as Jim Rohn used to say, I've got nothing in the bank, nothing to show for it. That's not because you're struggling with motivation. That's not because all these things pile up. Those things are always going to be there. The way that you push past to the point where you think, yeah, I'm going to be motivated to continue working on this business. I want to get up early. I want to go to bed late. I want to continue being uncomfortable. I want to continue writing blog posts. I want to continue doing the things that previously weren't getting me any results whatsoever. That's when you are in dedication to somebody else and you're serving somebody else. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate this was kind of a bit of an in-your-face video. I'm a little bit pumped up from a few of the things that we've been doing today. I've had a really, really good and productive and effective and energized day, so I kind of wanted to bring that to the camera a little bit. I've probably got a couple of videos either side. In the meantime, if you've seen this model, let me know in the comments below. The channel, bit by bit, is growing very, very slowly. A like and a subscribe if you've never watched before. Hello, a subscribe always helps me out, but sharing the video as well is really, really useful. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Keep building those funnels.